the world of allopathy, why do you think Ayurveda makes sense for the modern world? And how does it build that mind-body connection?
Contemporary medicine is also science. Ayurveda is also science. And all science should dwell together in harmony.
Tell us more about the daily routine. What does Ayurveda say about how you should conduct your daily routine?
Daily routine is wake up with nature. For poor immune health, the best thing you can do is
Everybody is saying right now to include more protein in your diet.
protein should be had if you have amazing digestion and if you really genuinely work out daily and you are an athlete by design.
So there's this new herb that is taken over, and you see a lot of Western audience also talking about it. I'm talking about it's the new wonder herb.
खाके कोई घोड़ा नहीं बन जाएगा.
So, what do you think? What is the future of Ayurveda?
It is the truth and it has no ending. What I want to tell people about Ayurveda, don't think that it will not heal you. And don't come because you are exhausted from all other arenas and अब ये वाला भी लगा तो तीर नहीं तो तुक्का. Don't do that.
Hi viewers, welcome back to another podcast series of Healthy Naris. Today we have an exemplary guest and we are so excited to delve into this world that I don't know much about, being from the south, but I'm very excited to learn more.
So here we have Dr. Manisha, our first expert doctor of Bombay. So we are very thrilled to announce that, at Healthy Nadi's 5th podcast, we have a very renowned doctor. And thank you, Manisha, for coming for this podcast.
Hi everyone, I am Dr. Manisha Mishra. I have done my MD in Ayurveda from Mumbai, been practicing for more than 20 years in Ayurveda, medicine, diet, lifestyle and Panchakarma. I have also been teaching students. I have also been a part of pharma industry. But in the end, I love practicing and I practice what I preach. And today we are going to talk about Ayurveda, the myths, the stories, and how does it help everybody.
So in the world of allopathy, why do you think Ayurveda makes sense for the modern world? And how does it build that mind-body connection?
Contemporary medicine is also science. Ayurveda is also science. And all science should dwell together in harmony. What contemporary science can do, Ayurveda cannot do, but Ayurveda can do better. So there is something which is healing your symptoms or correcting a lot of disease. What is disease? Something which does not make you feel at ease. So both are correcting diseases. But there could be an emergency situation, there could be a surgical situation for which contemporary science really does a splendid job. And in some places Ayurveda does a splendid job. Both can exist together and they should.
So by this, do you mean like in the emergency situations, Ayurveda cannot give that kind of treatment which, traditional allopathy or, contemporary treatment does?
Okay. So if it is appendicitis and raat ko dard hua hai and you have to rush somewhere, I would tell you to go to a modern hospital and get it excised or removed. Ayurveda did have surgery, but due to XYZ reasons, it did not develop so much. So that part, yes, we do not handle it so good, but other parts, yes, we could.
So by this means you're saying that both of them complement each other. So
yes,
like with the traditional allopathy, then with the supporting system, we can use Ayurveda to make it long lasting.
No, so it is not supporting. Everybody can exist individually, and both of them can exist together. As I said, if there is an emergency, if there is a condition which requires immediate attention, please go to a modern doctor. But if there is a chronic ailment, you have cold, cough, allergies, you have autoimmune conditions, you have obesity, you have metabolic issues, you have PCOS, you have type 2 diabetes, I would tell you to start with Ayurveda and along with you may use some assistance of modern medicine.
Okay, so both go hand in hand.
Yes.
So coming to cough and cold and all the ailments which you were saying, autoimmune diseases, how does Ayurveda focus on treating it and how long does it take to get that kind of result?
Cough and cold is poor immune health. If you are constantly catching cold due to dust, mite, bahar nikal gaye, sardi ho gayi, season badal gaya, then definitely you have very poor immune health. For poor immune health, the best thing you can do is go to Ayurveda. Because it is not going to correct ki sardi hogi, naak beh rahi, I'll give you XYZ and you will have better results. It will give you something which will correct your immune health, improve your immune cells, and jaise jaise immunity अच्छी होती जाएगी, you will fight that allergy better. In cough and cold, you might feel relief in 3 to 5 days rather than 7 days. देखो, वायरल कॉफ अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगा, वायरल कोल्ड अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगा, आप गर्म पानी पी ले तो भी 7 दिन लगेगा. इफ यू एड आयुर्वेद टू इट 3 दिन लगेगा, 5 दिन लगेगा. सो यू रिड्यूस द डेज, यू रिड्यूस द सफरिंग, you improve your overall health, and that is necessary.
Even allopathy gives that kind of treatment like vitamin C and all those things for immunity. So what is difference between like having a Limsi of allopathy and an Ayurvedic herb which I'm taking? Like,
So I don't know, vitamin C is one vitamin which will improve your immune health. It is one part. There could be a vitamin B6, there could be a vitamin B12, there is vitamin A. There are so many minerals. You need zinc, you need copper, you need magnesium, you need manganese. अब इतना सारा दोगे तो immune health बनेगा. Vitamin C is just one part. It has just become famous. And vitamin C आपके खाने में भरपूर होता है. It's not कि आपको सिर्फ संतरे में मिलेगा. संतरा by the way सर्दियों में नहीं खाते हैं. It is pretty warming, but it is very difficult to digest. So it ends up causing more abhishanda. And Sanskrit has some beautiful words which modern science does not have. Abhishanda is something which will go and block all your micro channels, causing excess phlegm built up and inflammation. And the moment you have something like a sitafal, something like a banana, something like orange, all these are abhishandi. And जैसे खाते हो, people who have poor immune health start feeling that there is cough building, गला पकड़ लिया, सर्दी हो गया. So this is a sign of poor immune health and people feel they are allergic to it. मुझे कितनी बार लोग आके कहते हैं कि हमने ये खाया और हमें सर्दी हो गई. It is not that. It is the fruit you are unable to digest. Since you are unable to digest, you are creating certain metabolic waste which is causing a lot of toxin build up and causing you cold. Now how does Ayurveda help? You asked me vitamin C. So अगर मैं आंवला लेती हूँ, मुझे सर्दी हो गई, मैंने त्रिफला लिया या मैंने हल्दी ली, तो not only will it give you anti-inflammatory action, it will go help your immune cells to produce better immune health. It will also reduce excess जो पानी बह रहा है वो रोकेगा. It will reduce pain. So एक विटामिन सी सिर्फ विटामिन सी देगा, या आपको एंटीऑक्सीडेंट एक्शन देगा, या आपको एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी एक्शन देगा, या आपको इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाएगा, ये आपको डाइजेशन में भी हेल्प करेगा, तो आपका ओवरऑल वेलनेस इंप्रूव होता है. So giving this versus that, these are the benefits of Ayurveda. And this single benefit is you get vitamin C, which could help make more immune cells. That's it. It's an antioxidant.
So by body wise, I understand, it acts in a wholesome way and all those things. So what is your take, how Ayurveda helps in mental health? Like, is there any way which Ayurveda can treat depression or, any mental ailments? What is your take on that?
Okay. So Ayurveda is a science which talks about your sharir, manas और आत्मिक, your spiritual health. तीनों health अच्छी होनी चाहिए. WHO के definition में you are good, you are in healthy state if you are physically, metabolically, physiologically, mentally and spiritually healthy. इतने aspects पूरे होने चाहिए जो नहीं हो पाते, but Ayurveda does provide. तो हमारी चिकित्सा बहुत सारी, हम दवाई देंगे, हम आपको कहेंगे कि आप थोड़ा एक्सरसाइज करें, हम आपको कहेंगे कि आप थोड़ा ध्यान करें. दैट कम्स एज अ पार्ट ऑफ आयुर्वेद. यू डू सम ब्रीदिंग, यू डू सम मेडिटेशन. There is a chikitsa where we talk about mantra, and there is so much studies on mantra that it helps you heal on spiritual level. It improves your neurotransmitter in the brain. Stress is very common, anxiety is very common, and this time people are more prone to stress and anxiety. And the easiest way to treat is not pop pills, just correct your routine, eat well, and start some exercise which is going to renew you from within. And if you can, please meditate. If you can't meditate, at least do pranayam. That is such a good de-stressor that you immediately settle down and you stop reacting to things and you start responding to things. People here are stressed बिकॉज हमारा रिएक्शन टाइम बड़ा फटाक से है. अच्छा उसने मुझे ऐसा बोला, लेट मी गेट बैक. That getting back is so important at that point in time that it puts you under stressor. And it हमारे आयुर्वेद में व्याधि यानी बीमारी के 3 ही रीजन्स हैं. एक आपका असात्मेंद्रिय इंद्रियार्थ संयोग, बड़ा लंबा सा वर्ड है. दैट मीन्स improper use of sensorials.
Okay.
दूसरा है प्रज्ञापराध, which is crime against wisdom. आपका मन कह रहा है ये गलत है मत कर, पर फिर भी आप जाके खा के आओगे.
Tempt to do it.
हाँ, that temptation, no control over senses. And तीसरा है काल, which will happen eventually. You at certain age, certain things will happen. But ये जो पहले 2 reason है ना, this is causing maximum stress. And when I say improper sensorial use, eyes, ears, skin, ज़बान, हर चीज का excessive use हो रहा है. अगर चलो आप दिन भर स्क्रीन देखते हैं, that's your job. So every 2 hours go wash your eyes. Keep it clean. कुछ नहीं कर सकते तो rub your palms.
Simple
Put it on
ideas.
your eyes and just make it a little relaxed. Every 2 hours, go take a stroll. Try, if there is something unpleasant which is happening around you, just do not react. Don't say anything. जितना चुप रहोगे उतनी life sorted है. So these are the things which will work. So you don't require medicine. आपका behavior ही medicine है. You just follow that and you will be fine.
And people who are really suffering from dementia and depression,
Do you think like ashwagandha or some other kind of herb can help them?
So when it is schizophrenia or say dementia or say Alzheimer's or say Parkinson, there are so many diseases of neurological origin. इनको आयुर्वेद में actually treat किया जा सकता है to a certain extent depending on the chronicity. ये कब हुआ है? There is Panchakarma. Ashwagandha is not the only thing. Ashwagandha has become famous as an anti-stress drug, but it is actually used as a rejuvenator. We use it to improve hormones, especially in men. It improves testosterone. It improves your strength. The muscle tissue buildup is better. So overall wellness के लिए है ashwagandha. It is not that it is going to correct your dementia or anything. There are much bigger herbs. We use a lot of ghee. There is Brahmi ghee, Mahakalyanagrit. We will use Panchakarma. There is Basti, there is Shirodhara, Nasa. So it comes as an entire protocol to improve your mental wellness.
So a lot of people say these kind of like Parkinson's and or schizophrenia, there is some research going on that it starts with your gut or it's linked to diabetes in some way. How much truth is there to that?
It is true. It is absolutely true. आप जिसको gut कहते हैं ना, आयुर्वेद उसको अग्नि कहता है. We call it Agni. Agni is why we are surviving. And रोग सारे मंदाग्नि के से जनित है. अगर आपका cellular level का अग्नि खराब है, your metabolism is weak, your liver is weak, you will end up having diseases. So Ayurveda goes and tries to correct your gut only. Every medicine starts with improving your agni. Once I improve your metabolism, I start improving your nourishment, your assimilation. What you're eating is nourishing you better. The more better you're nourished, the more better healthy cells you create. And that is how you start overcoming a disease. So yes, gut is connected. People just ignore it. चलो हो जाएगा. Never ignore the first sign of any kind of problem, especially in motor skills. If you are unable to hold something, walk properly, talk properly, remember something, please go and meet your doctor.
So doctor, tell us more about Ayurveda. What are the 3 doshas? What is the world of Ayurveda?
The world of Ayurveda
When
is
did
really...
it start?
I can't even give you 5%. When I have studied for almost 8-9 years, and you are always a student in Ayurveda because you are discovering. The more you read the literature, the more you understand. Vata, Pitta, Kapha are the 3 basic bioenergies जिसपे सब कुछ टिका हुआ है. Vayu is the energy of movement and cognition. And by property, it is cooling, drying, light, and people, then there are prakritis, constitutions, on basis on these 3 doshas. तो कभी सिंगल नहीं होती, ऐसा नहीं होता कि बंदा वात प्रकृति होगा. इट इज ऑलवेज वात डोमिनेंट, पित्त डोमिनेंट, कफ डोमिनेंट. देयर इज वन प्रधान. आप मेरे शरीर में तीनों हैं, आपके शरीर में तीनों हैं. वायु विल गिव यू मूवमेंट, पित्त विल गिव यू मेटाबॉलिज्म एंड कफ विल गिव यू स्ट्रक्चर एंड स्टेबिलिटी. सो हमारे पास सब है. अब जिसके पास जो ज्यादा होगा उसकी वो प्रकृति. जिसमें वायु ज्यादा है आप देखेंगे कि या तो बहुत टॉल होंगे या शॉर्ट होंगे. ऑन द लीनर साइड दे आर वेरी फ्रेंडली, वेरी क्रिएटिव. They are the Mungeri Lals of their own kind because they will keep on daydreaming. आज ये होगा वो होगा. They'll build sand castles, but they are not motivated to finish what they start. They don't have the energy to finish it. So these are the people who will tell you Goa चलेंगे, plan करेंगे. These are the people who will not go to Goa because they have lost their energy by that time. So they want to do, but they are unable to finish what they start because of low energy. They also have poor immune health, so they are prone to cold, cough, seasonal ailments. They are also prone to aches and pains, joint disorders. So dementia, इनकी memory कैसी होती है? Grasping बहुत fast because there is movement. जिस speed में grasp करेंगे उसी speed में भूल जाएंगे. They will make friends फटाक से. They will fight also फटाक से. They are social butterflies. You take them to, they want to be the spirit of the party, dancing. But the best part is they are very creative. So they are writers, authors, dancers, creators. They will create things. If given the mahal and the environment, they will definitely do better. In digestion, very poor digestion. कभी बहुत भूख लगेगी, कभी बिल्कुल नहीं लगेगी. They eat frugally, and at times they will have constipation. At times they will have diarrhea. So it's a little unpredictable. The entire digestive health is unpredictable. Their behavior
this is which category?
Vata Pradhan people.
I think you're Vata.
Not that leader.
The Pitta Pradhan are the people who are leaders. They love to be in charge. So metabolically very healthy. एक टाइम पे बहुत सारा खाते हैं पर पतले ही रहते हैं. Easy to put on, but they will easily lose weight. They will always have a luster on their face, sharp features. They are pleasant looking. They are always pleasant looking. Good skin, prone to pimples. They will have premature hair graying. आपको 25 साल में 2 बाल सफेद दिख जाएंगे. Anger बहुत है. They are prone to acidic reflux a lot because pitta. So the moment they are a little out of whack when it comes to eating, they will have acidity. Apart from digestion, they are the people who will wake up and first thing they'll go is potty. पेट पहले साफ होगा. So that way they are very aligned. They will sleep okay. 6 hours sleep, 7 hours sleep is okay for them. But if you give them a job, they are so focused that they will stay up nights and nights to finish it because that is how they are designed. They love to finish what they start. Amazing people and arrogant people do not like to be around them because they are always in charge. They will take charge of everything.
Energetic.
Yes, energetic.
But can you be mix of like these?
I said there's always a mixture of things.
Okay.
It is never one person. It's not pitta मैं ऐसे ही हूँ वैसे हूँ. It is always mixture. So mostly people I find pittavat or vata pitta. Now coming to kapha energy, it is stable and nice. These are the teddy bears of whoever you find. थोड़ा सा खाएंगे तुरंत वजन बढ़ जाता है.
Teddy bears, I really like that word.
No, they are really loving people. They will forgive easily, but the memories they have, they take time to remember. आपको 3-4 बार याद कराना होता है, but once they remember, they have elephant's memory. They will remember for life. These are the people, if you have really done anything bad to them, they will remember and come back.
That is
after
very
25
bad in an
years.
argument.
No, they will not argue.
I think my husband is one of them.
They are very patient. They are very loving. They are very giving. They don't even age very fast. मतलब उनके skin पे wrinkles नहीं दिखाई देंगे. Nice thick skin, but they don't have a glow. They will have this a little
serenity, I think.
You can see them curly hair, thick mop of hair on their head. Very and lazy. They love to sleep a lot. आप उनको 10 बजे सुला दो, 10 बजे उठाओ, they would want to sleep more. Their sleep patterns are beautiful. They will मतलब ढोल नगाड़ा बजा दो वो लोग नहीं उठने वाले. ईटिंग थोड़ा सा खाएंगे, आप उनको इनसे इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग करवा लो. So they can fast for hours together. Don't give them food, they will not bother you. It's okay. 2 दिन बाद मिलेगा खाना, it is okay. मतलब it is okay. They make peace with everything. And that laziness in them, they have a lot of inertia. So if you have to get some job done, you have to keep on pushing them. Otherwise, they will not do anything. Better, they will not even make a plan if you unless you tell them to, because they are content with their lives. और बहुत कम लोग ऐसे होते हैं. Sluggish metabolism, हाँ. And now coming to women who are these kind, Vata Pradhan women will have periods which are scanty and a bit irregular. Pitta wala will have proper periods, 28 days, मतलब calendar के हिसाब से. A little, they will bleed a little more. The Kapha Pradhan will have period cycles which are a little longer, 35 days and all. And these are the women prone to cysts and fibroids.
Okay.
So cystic tendencies jahan aa gayi, that means the structure part is imbalanced.
Ma'am, tell us more about the daily routine. What does Ayurveda say about how you should conduct a daily routine, basically?
Daily routine is wake up with nature. So you wake up when sun rises, and the first thing you do is have some warm water. Ushapan. I'll tell you simple things which everybody can do. Just because there's so much. There are 25 routines said, you can't do it. A person who's working, it is very difficult to follow, and that is where people start running away. Ki, oh, they are giving so much of changes. No, just wake up. Basi move. Without brushing your teeth, have 1 cup of warm water. If it is an infused water, all the more good. You can infuse with fennel or fresh adrak. If need be, jeera. Depending, whatever you like as taste. That is the first thing you do. Then you really take a poop. You really have to clear your system first. If it is not, it is happening in once in 24 hours, I am happy about it. Don't push yourself and sit on the commode for 20 minutes ki abhi pet saaf hoga. Don't do that. That is only creating problems. Then you brush your teeth and do oil pulling. Oil pulling is just to improve your oral health. And that is 1 teaspoon of warm sesame oil, a pinch of rock salt, hold it in your mouth for 5 to 10 minutes. Till that time, go in your kitchen. As a man or woman, everybody should be in the kitchen. Go chop something, cook something for yourself. One self-care routine which everybody should do once in a day is cook for yourself. Nothing beats that, because that is how you put love in your body.
Correct.
So cooking is necessary, and it is not gender specific. It is anybody can cook. You do oil pulling. These are the basics that I want people to do. If possible, exercise in the morning between 8 to 10 a.m. Do not exercise in the evening, because that, that brings a lot of energy to you, and then it is difficult for you to fall asleep. So do whatever exercise, your yoga, running, jogging, or simple stretching. Whatever suits you, just do 15 to 20 minutes of exercise in the day.
What does Ayurveda say about exercise and wellness? Everybody's saying right now to include more protein in your diet. Especially for women, we are protein deficient. That is a key to wellness and long health. What does Ayurveda say about that?
Protein should be had if you have amazing digestion, and if you really genuinely work out daily and you are an athlete by design. Otherwise, people with poor digestion will be having troubles with digesting protein, and it will cause more gut issues and skin problems. So protein सोच समझ के खाएं. Does Ayurveda recommend a lot of protein? Ayurveda का ऐसा मानना है कि whatever your body can assimilate, it will assimilate. Be it protein, be it carb, be it mineral, be it vitamin. So first improve your digestive health, then go to anything which you want to be assimilated in the body. मैं सोना ही खा लूं, but if I don't have a digestive health to take it up, it is going to get wasted.
Okay, so there's this new herb that is taken over, and you see a lot of Western audience also talking about it. I'm talking about Shilajit. Can you please? It's the new wonder herb, and everybody wants to jump on the Shilajit train. Can you please educate our audience?
So Shilajit is not a herb. First thing.
Oh, sorry.
Shilajit is an exudate.
Okay.
It is. It comes from rocks of Himalaya. Over a period of time, whatever minerals have leached out of Himalaya is collected as Shilajit. You know, Shila se nikla hua. and then it is properly detoxified, shodhan hota hai, and that is how it is used in Ayurveda. Does it do a lot of things? It is full of minerals. It has a lot of minerals in it, and one of Shilajit is definitely good. It really improves your health. It is good for rejuvenation. It is a rasayan. But we don't take Shilajit as is. We would add it to certain herbs and then give you. And there are many medicinal preparations which have Shilajit. Is it suitable for everybody? That let the doctor decide. You just don't keep on having it because you're working out in a gym, because you have extra stress. No, don't do it. Please meet a doctor. Let them decide whether it is good, bad, ugly for you.
Adding to this question, people sell Ayurvedic herbs and supplements as, ashwagandha, eat every day in your meal. But as you said, you don't know if you need it in your body. So how do you stop this over commercialization of things which might be harmful for you if consumed in a large quantity?
Okay, how long should I take a rasayan or a rejuvenating herb like ashwagandha or shatavari or shilajit? If you are feeling weakness, you feel lethargy, you feel down and dead, and you have to drag yourself out of the bed daily, you need certain supplements.
Correct.
People who are lacking sleep, people who feel very, very tired, people who feel listless and low in energy can have ashwagandha for 3 months and not more, because that is enough. And let that body recuperate on its own later with whatever food you are giving. It is not a supplement. Please understand. It is a herb which has medicinal properties. So use it judiciously like a herb, and always talk to your doctor कि मैं ये लेना चाहता हूँ. Is it okay? Let him give a हाँ. Even if you're taking on your own, not for more than 3 months.
Not for more than 3 months. Thank you, doctor, because you don't see a lot of all these,
disclaimers coming
it's like you keep taking it, take one in the morning and you'll be fine for the rest of
and
your
that
life.
is a problem. एक tablet से ठीक होगा? The dosage meant said in Ayurvedic text is 5 to 10 grams in divided dosage. Are you taking it? Are you taking 5 grams at one time? No. That is a 500 milligram ka tablet. Chalo, it is an extract. I will believe it is a 3 gram ka tablet. But is that enough for your body weight and type? You might need 2 tablets. You might need 3 tablets. So then you will not feel good कि एक tablet लिया कुछ नहीं हुआ. So always talk to your doctor about the dosage to be taken. So even if you're buying off the shelf, it is best to discuss with somebody, and there are many people who will help you.
So what do you think? What is the future of Ayurveda? Like PM Modi also inaugurated that Central Ayurvedic Institute in Delhi, and even like UGC NEET has made Ayurveda biology as a subject. So what do you think? What is the future now of Ayurveda? How is it taking the road forward?
So Ayurveda, जब हम पढ़ते थे तो हमें बताया था अनादि है, शाश्वत है. It is the truth and it has no ending. So it was there 5,000 years earlier. It is still there. It will always be in the future. You can't take away something which is a diet and lifestyle and prevention. It is needed. If you don't have these basic steps, how will you be healthy forever? So Ayurveda has bright future, not as a medicine, as a complete science for your physical, mental, spiritual, all planes of life.
Adding to this, what are the
Second is उससे liver खराब हो जाएगा, kidney खराब हो जाएगा. So a doctor, when he prescribes, there is a certain number of days is given. He take it for 1 month, 2 months. What people do is abuse the medicine. They will take the prescription and on their own keep on buying, taking, and if that might cause problems. But otherwise, Ayurvedic medicines actually do not cause any liver damage that I'm aware of. Unless you overdo anything, or you're taking from somebody who is not a practicing Ayurvedic doctor. So that is the second. Liver, kidney wala बहुत मुझे पूछते हैं लोग. And do I have to take medicines for lifelong? No. If I see your symptoms getting better, I will just tell you to follow diet and lifestyle, because that was a primary thing which you should have followed to be better. So if you're better in 3 to 6 months, just go back to the diet that has been suggested and stick to it.
You said something on millets, so can you talk about millets in the perspective of Ayurveda?
So millets, have been a part of Ayurveda और ये दिया जाता है संतर्पण जन्य व्याधि. What is संतर्पण जन्य? You are overfed but undernourished. Please understand. We are overeating but we are not nourished.
Correct.
That is संतर्पण. कि आप ऐसे बल्कि तो लग रहे हो. It is not given to people who are on the leaner side. Because all the millets are drying, a little difficult to digest, cooling and alkalizing. Alkalizing एक शब्द आपने देखा होगा कि millets are alkalizing. Anything which is क्षारीय, जिसमें क्षार ज्यादा होते हैं, that can end up, क्षार are very drying. Alkalis are drying. They will dry you a lot. So millets are good for people who want to lose weight, who have metabolic problems, who have PCOD, obesity, diabetes. I will say yes, please go ahead and have it. But see your digestive health. बाजरा हर किसी को सूट नहीं करता. बाजरा का संस्कृत नाम है दूरजर. जरण यानी डाइजेस्ट करने में वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो बाजरा ओनली कम्स फॉर द विंटर सीजन. उसके बियॉन्ड आप खाने लगोगे तो यू विल क्रिएट मोर एरर्स इन योर डाइजेस्टिव हेल्थ. सो बाजरा इज नॉट सुटेबल थ्रू आउट दैट. Otherwise, kodo, sama, buckwheat, all are good for people who have metabolic errors. People who just want to have it for fun can have it once in a month, twice in a month. Don't make it a staple.
So we can't let you go, doctor, since this is a woman-conducted podcast. Why are we having so many issues like PCOD? I see people at a very young age, like you said, grey hair, and especially women's health. Why is it deteriorating so much from what used to happen before? And how can we stop that?
So these are all lifestyle disease. Please understand, एक category है पूरा lifestyle. So why are women going through this? This is my personal thought, and so I would not quantify it to everybody. But in older times, maybe 40 years back, women really had a very hardworking lifestyle. They would wake up, clean the house. मतलब बहुत फिजिकल लेबर हुआ करता था. फिजिकल एक्टिविटी वाज ऑलवेज हाई. बट करेंटली द फिजिकल एक्टिविटी इज इधर रनिंग फॉर बस, ट्रेन. एंड गर्ल्स हु स्टार्ट हैविंग PCOS, it is during their formative year of 10th, 12th, when their boards come.
Very early,
That time the stress is very high to get marks. They are sitting at one place, and just when you don't know what to do, you start munching. You're sitting and munching, and you're creating a lot of armor in the body. It has to go and manifest somewhere. Na? It goes into the reproductive area, and people start suffering from PCOD. If you correct your lifestyle, if you become active, if you are eating correct, reducing sugar, you can reverse it. PCOD is reversible. That I can say. Similarly with thyroid, again it is a lifestyle disease. There is one organ which has stopped creating enough growth hormone, and that is where you start feeling the dryness, the weight gain, the memory issues. There are so many problems when it comes to. So all this is lifestyle. No amount of medicine can correct your lifestyle. So improve your lifestyle, improve the way you eat, improve the way you sleep, and try to be in sync with what sun is telling you. मतलब वो बेचारा अपना रूटीन नहीं छोड़ रहा है, आपने छोड़ रखा. Imagine one day sun does not rise and does not set. It will create chaos. You are creating that daily. So that's it.
And why do we women suffer knee issues more than men? Like after a certain age, I think if I know 10 people, 8 of those women have knee issues.
At what age?
Now I see it as early as 50. 45, 50.
So there is a hormone called estrogen. It's a female hormone. People, women going through perimenopause and menopause the estrogen starts nosediving. It goes like ekdam speed mein. For men, testosterone does not nosedive so fast. So these are the hormones which maintain your joint health, calcium levels, phosphorus levels. अब ये जैसे कम होने लगता है, and women have never exercised, if you realize, and they don't eat well. They don't have a routine. और ये मैं बार बार बोलती जाऊंगी, you will realize she is harping so much on routine, but that is essential. and they have never taken care of their gut health. So they have poor liver, poor vitamin D3, poor B12, poor calcium, poor multiple minerals. So unless you give that to your body in your 50s, why will your joint support you? So it is just that estrogen going down, and estrogen is also responsible for calcium absorption.
That's why you have calcium deficiency also.
Osteoporosis is very common in women.
So it is hormonal. So at that time, the moment you start reaching your mid-40s, start a supplement or a herb called Shatavari, which mimics estrogen in the body. Second thing which helps
which is given to pregnant ladies for lactation also.
It is, but it is suitable for women at all ages.
Okay.
At 12, when you start your periods, to nourish your reproductive organs. At 25, when you have had babies. At 35, at 45, it is a forever kind of herb. Second is til. Black til, अगर आप 1 चम्मच रोज खाते हैं, it again gives you essential calcium. It also gives you certain amount of estrogen. It mimics estrogen, and you need all these things in your daily diet. तो अपना डाइट सुधार लेना तो सब कुछ सुधर जाएगा. And there are many medicines which are available. Ghee is given to them. Because if you realize by 45 to 55, women go through, it is such a strong transition. There is memory fog. People, अभी they will enter a room and they'll think मैं यहाँ क्यों आई थी? मैं किचन में गैस ऑन करके आप छोड़ के पूरा घर घूम के आ गए हो, जो रखा है वो जल गया है. So that happens, and that is estrogen nose diving. And if you don't correct it that point, not that you're going to elevate it, but you just hold on to it for longer duration, it will keep you healthy.
I think that's a very key takeaway, right?
So 5 Ayurvedic herbs which generally any household should have and use it.
Yeah.
Okay. तुलसी सबके घर में होती है, बट तुलसी हम खांसी सर्दी के लिए यूज करते हैं, बट तुलसी इज अमेजिंग डी-स्ट्रेसिंग हर्ब. आप तुलसी का सिर्फ पानी पी ले, मंदिरों में आपको प्रसाद में मिलता है, and you feel more calm there. It is just a calming herb. So it helps everybody. In fact, तुलसी का पानी पी लें, सर्दी ठीक हो जाएगी. You will feel de-stressed. You will feel better sleep. It will also reduce your pain, throat pain or any kind of छोटा मोटा pain. It really helps. So तुलसी should be there. Second is ajwain for your digestive health. Bhuna hua ajwain really is a good carminative. It will expel a lot of gases whenever you feel tummy troubles. Third is saunf. It's a spice, but it is useful for people who suffer from acidity. Rather than popping a pill, अगर आप 1 छोटा चम्मच सौंफ थोड़ी मिश्री के साथ दिन में 2-3 बार खाते हैं, जब भी आपको एसिडिटी लगे, it will immediately start settling it. पर चबा चबा के खाओ. Just give it some time. Keep on chewing on it, and you will feel much relief in acidity rather than popping a pill.
Maybe for skincare you can
Skincare,
add.
yes.
Last 2 can be for
We all want that anti-wrinkle glowing skin.
like you.
Yeah, anti-wrinkle glowing skin. Anti-wrinkle अगर चाहिए ना, तो मेरे jaw और तिल is my favorite. This I also apply as a jaw is barley.
हाँ, barley.
Barley
has to give it for my kids also.
Barley has azelaic acid, which is skin brightening. और आप उसको तिल के साथ मिला दो, तो there is some natural fat. तिल नहीं तो फिर दूध. Whatever you apply on the fat, on the face has to have base of some fat. या तो दूध या तो तिल. Then only it is absorbed. Skin is lipophilic. It loves to absorb only fat. So application of jaw, til and doodh is my favorite. If it does not suit you, then honey and milk combination really works on your skin. Coming to hair, what can you do for hair? है ना? For dandruff and everything. मेथी वेथी आप रोज चावल धोते हैं, चावल भिगा के रखते हैं. Whatever water you छान के आप पानी निकाल लें भिगाए हुए चावल से, और उससे आप हफ्ते में 2 बार अपना पूरा बाल धो लें एज अ पैक स्कैल्प पे लगा के, बालों पे लगा के छोड़ दें. यू विल बी गेटिंग रिड ऑफ डैंड्रफ, इम्प्रूविंग योर स्कैल्प हेल्थ एंड हेयर ग्रोथ टू.
Just that water.
Just that water.
Oh, nice.
Oh, can you reverse grace, doctor?
Can I reverse grace? If it is premature graying, yes. If it is graying after 30, please understand.
Okay.
Cross that limit.
So, graying के लिए what is essential is copper. Graying के लिए what is essential is good antioxidant in the body. Amla is amazing. And copper में पानी पी रहे हैं आप, copper के बर्तन में. बहुत दिन नहीं, पर दिन में 1 बार 1 गिलास. ऐसे बॉटल लेके मत घूमो. सुबह सुबह आप पी लो. if you getting enough copper, it will improve your premature graying. और नाक में 2 बूंद काऊ का घी, that also helps reverse premature graying. There is nothing else. There is no jadoo ki pudi. And start reducing your stress. Why are you graying? Please understand.
Correct.
You are not getting well nourished.
Not sleep, not very stressed.
हाँ, और अभी वो premature graying सोच के आप और 2 घंटा नहीं सोओगे. So how is it helping you? Being happy genuinely will take care of your skin, hair, gut,
health, everything.
Find happiness. Find people who give you happiness. Stay at places which give you happiness. If you cannot get happiness, at least go and give happiness. That is the only way you stay stress free. ऐसा नहीं होता. कितना भी आप ज्ञान ले लो, कहीं बैठ जाओ. Stress is something which you can only fight, and it comes with replacing all those negative thoughts with something which is happy.
So how is homeopathy different from Ayurveda, which is both plant-based?
Plant, mineral, multiple based. Homeopathy has come some 200 or 300 years back, and it is based on a lot of tinctures, means alcoholic derivatives. When it comes to Ayurveda, we have powders, we have alcohol, we have ghee, we have multiple ways of delivering medicine. We have kadas, we have panchakarma. So we just, that is a difference. It is diet, lifestyle and the way we treat. That is different from homeopathy. I don't know, I can't say much about homeopathy because I have not studied it, but this is a basic thing which I am aware of.
On that beautiful note, thank you so much, Doctor. So many different perspectives, and thank you for a very balanced podcast. You've told us all the beauty of Ayurveda, but also the limitations that are there to it. And anything that you want to tell our viewers, please do tell them about all your practice and where you're based at. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to get connected.
So I'm based in Mumbai. I practice at Versova. I do visit Borivali and Colaba. Apart from that, what I want to tell people about Ayurveda, don't have inhibitions about Ayurveda. Don't think that it will not heal you. Don't come because it is a fashion. Come because you feel it is your calling. Come because you will not correct your symptom but heal your root cause. Come because it will align your overall wellness. Just for that. And don't come because you are exhausted from all other arenas and ab ye wala bhi laga to teer nahi to tukka. Don't do that. If you come early, you will be treated faster. I have patients who come to me when I ask them when was your last period. Aap dekh ke batayenge. You have to know it. You are giving your memory to somebody else. Why will it work for you?
Does Ayurveda promote a muscle growth or something? Like, does it help in muscle growth? Like any herb which can help?
I spoke about ashwagandha.
Even that can help in muscle growth.
See, what kind of muscle growth are you looking for?
Like the way we do it in gym, like focusing on just weight training and all those things. So can Ayurveda help, like aid?
So there is so many things that Ayurveda can help. What do you want for muscle growth is...
Like it's said that women lose their kind of muscles as they age and everything. So, weight training is very important for women.
Yes.
So
if you weight train, if you're working out and certain body part requires more of nutrient, वो खींच लेगा ना, आप जो दोगे वो. So ashwagandha does work, shatavari does work in such people. Til works. Til comes with a lot of good amino acids. It's not a complete amino acid profile, but lot of necessary come. Amla works beautifully. There are so many avleha or ghee we give, which will give you. See, ghee is necessary for your gut health.
Joints and gut and everything.
Ghee is the only fat which has a short chain fatty acid, which is the food for your gut bacteria. So if your healthy gut bacteria get good food, they will be well nourished. Once they are well nourished, they are creating all these things for you, na? Basically, they create the good things for you. So the more well populated they are, whatever you give will convert to nourishment and energy and go to your cells. So ये जो हम cell पकड़ते हैं, please, it's an overall wellness thing. अगर आपको एसिडिटी है तो मैं कह रही हूँ ना, नथिंग विल हेल्प यू. इफ यू हैव IBS, what are you digesting? It is like an angry, insulted gut जो कुछ नहीं बचा पा रहा है. आपको literally you have to eat baby food. चावल का पानी, दाल का पानी, खिचड़ी, boiled. They can't even ripe fruit. They can't digest. I have to give them proper boiled apple with a little ghee. And slowly you bring them in 3 months to a condition where they are able to absorb, and then you go to gym. Going to gym and not being able to digest is the worst combination people create. And उसमें वो कुछ smoothie वगैरह करते हैं. That I don't like. I do not like milk with a lot of fruits, which includes banana. And everybody these days has a smoothie. मैंने तो smoothie खा लिया ना, आंवला लिया. So about when it comes to juicing, Ayurveda has very, very clear directives. Juices are difficult to digest. Juices should be taken as a shot. Juices should be around your mid meal. 2 बजे तक पी लीजिए आपको जो जूस पीना है, because that is the time you are aligning with the sun and you have good digestive enzymes. अब आपकी स्मूदी एप्पल, बीटरूट, कैरेट सुन के मेरे कान में छेद हो गए.
ABC. Again, a very Western thing that is picked up, like, you know.
So
the
there is
glow
one
juice.
fruit and there are 2 tubers. Fruit तो चलो ठीक है, apple juice I'm okay, पी लो. These tubers are very difficult to digest. Now that you have acidity and you are taking apple, beetroot, carrot daily. Carrot has carotenoids. All these vitamin A derivatives require a lot of fat to get digested. आप उसको जूस पी के कोई फायदा नहीं है, कुछ नहीं मिल रहा. Now coming to beetroot, a lot of betaine, that red color. Again, these are derivatives which require some fat. So you boil them. उसमें थोड़ा घी डालिए. गाजर का हलवा खाइए, गाजर का सूप खाइए, उसका जूस मत बनाइए. So if you want to really juice amla and have as a shot.
Okay.
Amla with ginger and little salt. Glow shot. Beautiful for your skin. Beetroot and gajar, as I said, please take it as a soup. At least you will get fibers and they are well cooked. Add fat. बिना घी के आपका गाजर वेस्टेड है और बिना घी के आपका बीटरूट भी वेस्टेड है. एप्पल कैन बी जूस, बट आपके उतना सॉफ्ट फ्रूट है, चबा के खा लो. दांतों का भी इस्तेमाल करने की रिक्वायरमेंट है. व्हाई डू वी हैव टीथ? Why do we forget this part?
I think in 100 years, people will be born without teeth. So, sab juice kar.
Everything is juicing. मतलब, what are you chewing? What?
People don't have time to chew.
Sugar cane पहले हम chew करके खाते थे. बाकायदा गन्ना नोच के उसको चबा के. It was good for your teeth. It was cleansing your teeth. It was strengthening your gums. Now teeth is a problem. So I really don't understand.
I should not speak. I have a bad tooth.
Doctor, to end, let's start a rapid fire. Okay. One Ayurvedic herb you swear by.
What do I swear by? Ginger.
Oh, nice. Even I love ginger. Morning detox drink or evening herbal tea?
Both.
The biggest myth about Ayurveda?
That it takes a lot of time to heal anybody.
Oh. A simple Ayurvedic tip for glowing skin.
Just moisturize it well with some nice oil. A face wash with some upton. I don't use soap. So I have always used besan or masoor dal. नहीं तो मैं आटा ही use कर लेती हूँ. I just mix it with milk and wash it. Then top it up with shatadhut grit या ghee. And I don't use a lot of sunscreen, but when I step out, I do use sunscreens and they are mineral based. So go for mineral based sunscreens. Saffron केसर में थोड़ा सनस्क्रीन वाला एलिमेंट है. देयर आर स्टडीज ऑन दैट. रात को कोशिश करें कि आप कुमकुम दूध में मिला के या तो कुमकुमादी तेल फेस पे लगा के सोएं. दैट विल हेल्प. The glow will come.
I will see this in repeat mode and try this.
I'll write it for you.
Best spice for digestion?
Best spice? Jeera.
One food everyone should avoid for better health?
Fermented food.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
So fermented food, so if it is vinegar, I'm okay for 2 to 3 weeks. If it is bread and such fermented food which are yeast based, then I'm not happy because the byproducts are not good.
So what about your kimchi and your kefir and kombucha and all of these things?
अब देखो ये तो बड़ा फिरंगी वाले शब्द है, आगे तो मुझे प्रोनाउंस करने नहीं आएंगे.
नहीं, आजकल के बच्चे वही खाते हैं ना.
Actually, kombucha.
So आपके पास अचार है, which is similar to that. See, two type of fermented food. One which comes as achar, sirka, I'm okay with. One which is cooked and presented and preserved, I'm not okay with. So let's
Preserved.
demark it like that.
And what about curd? I love
Curd, we love. We have nothing against curd, but we love buttermilk more. And इन दोनों का टाइम दोपहर का होना चाहिए. Curd is not suitable for everybody
Night, yeah.
because we do believe that it is अभिसंधि एक word मैंने use किया. It's so heavy to digest.
Yes.
And it's a winter food. और मैंने इतनी बार लोगों से सुना है गर्मियों में हम दही खाते हैं, ठंडी हो जाते हैं, ठंडा हो जाता है. कुछ ठंडा नहीं होता. You're just creating inflammation. Buttermilk is better than curd.
Okay.
But yes, you should have it daily. आप छाछ रोज पिए and make it more flavorful. उसमें थोड़ी सी अदरक, थोड़ा धनिया, पुदीना, नमक, एक लहसुन डाल के just churn it and you will love it. It's so yummy.
Best Ayurvedic remedy for stress relief? I think I should have.
Pranayam. There's no Ayurvedic remedy. If you breathe and take a pause and just slow breathe, give yourself 5 minutes, you will immediately reduce that excess cortisol. Because being dependent on medicine is nothing that Ayurveda approves of. Yeah, khate raho. And people who are stressed now don't want to do these simple things which can actually cut stress in the beginning itself. And sometimes I feel personally people love saying they are stressed और सुन के body बोलते चल देता हूँ.
सही बात है.
Manifesting. If Ayurveda had a tagline, what would that be?
That's nice.
यत पिंडे तद ब्रह्मांडे. जैसा ब्रह्मांड है वैसे आप हो. So just mimic what is there in nature and you will never have problems.
So true, actually. Thank you so much for coming, Manisha.
It was so insightful.
It was an eye-opener session.
Yeah.